Cosmic Chris, come on, let's go.
All right. Peace to the panel, peace to the planet. So I was here a couple days ago, right? And I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate to what I was doing the other day. So to anybody on the panel, can you guys answer this question? Because I didn't hear anybody say anything about it, right? Uh, what role does the sun play? The sun, the actual sun, play in African spirituality? Because for the Egyptians to call us the sun, or the children of the sun, literally, that's the children of the sun. For Raborn to have his name as Raborn, and Ra is to be the sun, I'm pretty sure. Why is the sun not being discussed when African spirituality being discussed? I feel like that should be the first thing, one of the first things being discussed. And actually, I'll just leave it at that because I'm getting kind of tired. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna say my name don't mean that. I'm like I say it 1,000 times. We got an alphabet. We take our name from it. Ruler, and Allah. I don't know how many times I gotta keep saying that. The sun and all elements in nature play a role in every tradition, not just Africa, all around the world. Why? Because those are the things that sustain the people. Thus, they make stories out of these things, such as they might make a ritual through a crop. And because this is the Pacific food or yam or festivals will be brought off of that. So you will see this in all of these creation stories. If you look at voodoo, you'll see Nana Baruku. And Nana Baruku creates Mal Lisa, which is what? The sun and the moon. Then there's a story written behind it. And they're like, oh, Mal Lisa, they copulated and created all of the things in the world, right? So you're gonna see that as a natural human phenomenon to talk about the sun, the stars, and the moon. That's everywhere on the planet Earth, because these are the things that are marvels to the people, and they make stories out of them, and they see that it sustains the people. The sun creates life. They can see that. They can see what happens when it's nighttime.
Would you agree that God also creates life?
No, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in nothing outside of the self.
So what would you so what do you believe creates life, creates us?
The same thing how you got here, your mother and your father. I don't waste time searching for that which does not exist.
And who is our original mother and father? And I'm digging a hole, right? And I'm just
now, I feel you
that our original mother and father is the sun. I believe we come from the sun, and I stated that talking to a couple days ago, and I'm kind of just digging a hole right now. So I just want to see.
Oh, you said that we come from the sun? I mean, you could, if you want to say, I mean, like, if you're looking at some elements or gases, some of that stuff is in you, or in our universe. So if you want, without the sun, we won't be here.
What I'm saying is, I think we
didn't come from the sun, though.
I believe the sun is the reason for people, plants, animals.
You're right.
Everything.
You're 100% correct. But we didn't come from the sun.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
Right? So where we come from, how do we not come from the sun if the sun literally, like you said, it governs our life. It dictates everything that we do, we need. You know what I'm saying? How do we not come from that source? So would you saying that? Are you saying that we are a unnatural creation? Like I would say the white man, you don't gotta say it or not. I would say anybody non-black is not human or whatever. I said that the other day. So would you be saying by saying that we are not a natural creation? Because the sun,
everything is natural, brother, and everything is connected. This is the best way I could break this down to you, right? Everything is interconnected. There is no system that is independent, brother. There is nothing that could exist in.
Can I?
What happened? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I ask you what we are all connected to? Since you said we are all connected, I believe that too. I believe we are all one. But what are we all connected? We are all. You do not believe that we're the soul.
No, I don't believe. No, brother, I don't. I mean, I'm just telling you what we are, bro. We are part of nature and the natural world. We are all connected, and we all go through the phases of birth, life, and death.
And all of that started in spirituality. That's what he don't want to say. All of that began into spirituality.
Yeah, you right. You right.
But what I'm saying, spirituality
in thought.
Listen, sister. Like I could agree with you.
We started off in thought. in spirituality, and
I don't know if we
and that
started off in
became
thought.
in spirituality.
I don't agree with
in
that
thought.
either. I don't agree with
One
that
at a
either.
time,
I
y'all.
feel
One
though.
at a time. Let the sister go.
All right, you're right.
Okay, so in spirituality and thought, because we have to come from in thought, if we think of it in galaxy, right? In galaxy, this isn't everybody wants to say we came from space, all right? So in galaxy, in thought, that's either in your brain or in the heavens, in the skies, in thought, right? So even if you want to take it in the Bible, I don't care how you want to put this together, okay? Because from Raborn's point of view, if you can read it in a book, if somebody in a book tell you whatever, you will believe it. But if I come to you and tell you this with my skin color and I tell you this, you don't believe nothing I tell you, but you will ask me for $1. Yet if you read it in a book and somebody tell you in a book, you'll believe anything they tell you. But let me stand in your face, being your same color, and you won't believe nothing I say. So let's go into thought, because that's what it is. It was in thought. And then from the abyss, from that thought, then the abyss became the water. And then that was from creation, from water. Then you were formed and created from dirt, right? And then we're going to talk about man was created from dirt. So once you go back to ashes, you go back to dirt. And then from dirt, you go back to water. And then from water, you go back to spirit. Spirit consumes all religion. Religion is all of the religions all together in spirit. Spirit is what's in your heart. What's in your heart is your spirit. Every spirit don't have a heart. That's why some people can kill and don't have a guilty conscience, because they don't have a spirit. Every spirit don't have a heart. That's why they say, what's a spirit? If you don't have it, don't worry. You will never get it. You can't make somebody get what they don't have if it's not in you. See what I'm saying? So if it's in you, you seeking for what's not in you. The Bible told you to seek for the truth. It didn't tell you to seek for God. It told you to beware of God seekers. Why? Because the Bible was written by people. All these Bibles don't say the same thing. You beating up somebody, one person that can read the muddle netter, and that's Dr. Jabari. The Intepi, him and Anika. The
Can I
Intepis,
ask you
they
one
can
thing about the
read.
Bible, please?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about
Anybody?
How do you feel about every time you see a picture of adult Jesus, mainly solo, right? Like you can just search him up. Anytime you see him, he's standing in front of the sun. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep coming back to the sun because that's a big thing for
Let
me.
me
And I feel
tell
like
you
that's a big thing
something.
for African spirituality. So how do you feel about every time you see a picture of Jesus, a drawing, whatever, he's standing in front of the sun, which I would say is our true God. A false
One
God
thing
standing
about
in front
it
of our true God. That's my
is that
opinion.
I've seen a picture of Jesus on a cross that
In
was
front of the
like
sun.
this with his hands together. Okay, no, he wasn't in front of a sun. He was on
It's
a.
always There's always sun
Everything was.
rays
I'm
coming
I'm
from
almost
behind his head.
60. No, I'm almost 60. He was on a copper cross, but it wasn't a cross. The pole was straight up and down like this, and it was a cross on top of him that said the end, but it didn't say the end. It said it in French or whatever. His hands were together, and the pole and the things went through his hand. So his hands was together. Now later on, right now, everybody see his hands spread it out with poles and his crosses in his hand. But when I was younger, that wasn't the cross I saw. So now as I look it up, you will see, was Jesus on a cross with his hands together or were they separate? Because when I was 6 and 7, the cross, his hands were together. They weren't separated. So look that up. And there was no sun behind him. His hands were together.
Okay.
They weren't separated. So this is a whole lot of different things that's going on. The Bible are a whole lot different than they were then. That's why it said to not change anything. As you notice now, every time you turn around, every so many years, they update the Bible. And they try to say it's for your understanding. No, it's to delete some information because history, they tried to delete and remove some stuff. Right, because like I said, I'm almost 60. My birth certificate says Negro. I was all upset. My brother's birth certificate says colored.
For the night, but can I ask you one more question? When the ancient black people, right, when they were building the pyramids, the Great Pyramids, the pyramids of Giza and everything, did they have a Bible in their hand? Do you think so?
Why would they have a Bible? The Bible wasn't written until the 1800s, 1900s,
all right, so,
in the 1920s.
So why should we put as much faith in the Bible that came later than something that we had before then, as in African spirituality?
Why would you put the oldest book?
It's not as old as us.
Exactly, so and it doesn't say anything about a Bible.
Chris, I think you are mistaken. She is not a Christian supporting Christianity.
Okay.
So it's telling
I
what you should do about spirituality. Spirituality had nothing to do with the Bible. The people using the Bible like it's a voodoo curse. They telling you that you tell them John 16 and all this other stuff. That has nothing to do with the priest of Ptah. The precepts of Ptah is telling you how to live a basic, pure life. As if you're going to be responsible, not just for you, but for your village, for your tribe, for your people. Be responsible as a person, as above, so below, as a person, for everything around you.
Yes. Have
some kind of responsibility. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Are you your brother's keeper? Are you your mother's keeper? Are you the keeper for the people around you? Don't just sit up here and talk about what's going wrong. Be the changes in what's going wrong. I seen Saneter do a post and say 125th ain't the same without me. And then he goes around. Whatever it wasn't without him, I see what it ain't without him.
All right, thank you.
So I know what it wasn't.
Thank you to the queen. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to Yo King. You want to say something, Yo King? And because we're gonna end this show with Sekou.
Yeah, I just want to say my bad about earlier. I dropped, but